In Belfast, the British Army is once again back in the old routine. Men in the middle, keeping peace between two warring factions. But this time, it's not Aden, Cyprus, or some far-off colony. It is, incredibly, in Britain's own backyard, Northern Ireland.
Well, a lot have come down. See, this Peaceline goes along Paul's Road, goes right along to Cooper Street. You know where Cooper Street is? Around Cooper Street, and then on to Springfield Road.
For 5 weeks, the army has been in Belfast, whose centre now looks like some awful British version of Berlin. 7,500 British troops have been sent to Northern Ireland, the largest number of any peacekeeping operation since Indian independence in 1947. It is a lunatic but sad fact that but for the British Army, there would be civil war between Catholic and Protestant in this part of Britain. In spite of all the inquiries, promised reforms and appeals to moderation, the truth is that the extremists on both sides make the running and want victory, not a settlement. Belfast has gradually got used to army patrols on its streets and army checkpoints. Perhaps Belfast is getting a little too used to the sight of soldiers and guns. It seems like a bad dream, but for 5 weeks Belfast has been a city full of barricades, barbed wire and soldiers. Major Chichester Clark realised that only the British Army could bring the city and country back to sanity.
We have now decided that the Army will erect and man a firm peace line to be sited between the Divis Street area and the Shankill Road on a line determined by a representative body from the City Hall. In conjunction with this action, barricades will be removed in all areas of Belfast, both Protestant and Catholic.
The setting up of an army peace line was easier said than done. The army tactics were to play it cool, to talk their plan onto the locals, not force it. In some places, the discussions were every bit as tortuous as the Vietnam peace talks. The deal was that barricades would come down and army wire barriers would go up at the same time. But the barrier for keeping Belfast Christians from attacking each other soon ran into snags in places. The locals provided tea, but also plenty of objections. The army hesitated.
So it's really being a bit of a problem for you at the moment, isn't it? I mean, you don't seem to have any very strict instructions to go ahead, or I mean, you're just holding back.
No, it's not true. We are working on this so-called peace line further up behind us, at exact locations. We know exactly what we're doing. The reason we were here is that yesterday they asked us to take this down, regardless of the peace line, to take it down. This morning they've changed their minds.
Why do you think they've changed their minds?
Different people, different mood, they change their minds by the hour.
Are your people pretty fed up about coming down here and then finding that they're...
No.
What?
No.
Yes.
Yes?
No.
No, we're not too much. We don't mind.
A lot happier with work to do, I think.
We like the work, you know. We'd rather do some work. Friendly people, you know. I mean, just to kind of understand the situation, you know, it's just something. About half hour later, they'll bring cups of tea out and go from the change within. It's like you say, they change every hour, you know.
Yeah. Do you think the troops understand what it's all about here, Protestant and Catholic?
No, not really. Well, we're not really interested about
See, we're just here to do a job, aren't we? That's the thing.
The army peace line zigzags between the troubled centre of Belfast, the Protestant Shankill Road and the Catholic Falls Road area. It is now complete except in one place, Dover Street, the shortest direct route between the Protestant and Catholic strongholds and the scene of August's fighting. At first, the army moved in to build their peace line on the site of the Protestant barricade. Work proceeded smoothly. But soon there were Protestant protests. If the peace line were built on their barricade, some Protestants would be stranded in a Catholic area. Work stopped while the army checked with headquarters. General Freeland, commander of the British troops, arrived to inspect the line. The line had been agreed the previous day between Protestants and Catholics at Belfast City Hall. The army had no say in its placing.
We've had a hold-up for some reason, they're just saying about it now.
Hey, he wants you.
But soon, General Freeland was to face what his troops have been facing these past 5 weeks.
What's it, materials or, or exactly where to put it?
Exactly where to put it, I think so.
Can I speak? Can I speak? Can I speak?
Of course you can, everybody.
Well, we live in Beverley Street.
Oh, yeah.
This is Beverley Street down here. What's that putting a barrier here for?
And that street there either.
And us land, yes.
I think we better leave it to whoever's arranging it.
Yes, well, the way to see about it.
There's a way to City Hall to see about it.
Oh, have they? They've gone now, have they? Oh, yeah. That's
Me,
good.
talk.
We want to try and get everybody to agree where to put it.
Yes, but this was arranged in the City Hall, sir, where the barrier was going.
Was it?
Between the councillors.
Well, they're the people who've got to say where to put it, because we don't know.
Yes,
you see,
they have already said where to put it. And that is the wrong place.
I see.
And I have tried to tell them all
I see.
morning.
Oh, I see. Well, they probably don't quite know. We'll sort it out. Don't worry, we'll
go
sort it
further
out.
down.
This was only the beginning of the continuing story of the Dover Street peace line. Dover Street is not typical of Belfast, but then neither were the mobs who came along it in August and brought Northern Ireland near to civil war. Even General Freeland's diplomacy cannot quiet the bitterness when Catholic meets Protestant in this street.
We keep these out and we keep up there.
That's
We
just
need
fair
our
enough. I don't want
protection.
nothing to do with
We
fear.
have lived
Close
for
down.
the past month with this
Here.
fear too.
Well, what fear?
The fear
What
of
about
you
this? What about this? Poor people?
Yes.
Are you choking me?
We aren't the Armstrongs that we're brought up to be.
But you're not the
You
Armstrong.
have accused of being
How many is?
Armstrong.
If I wasn't working.
I don't care.
If I wasn't working.
Such is the temper of Belfast now that the slightest and silliest quarrel can lead to Protestant and Catholic crowds quickly gathering at either end of a street to confront each other. The troops had to move quickly to prevent the Catholic crowds massing. In Dover Street, Catholics and Protestants jealously guard their own territory to the last inch. And now that the army peace line was in dispute, the Protestants began to gather at their end of the street to fight it out. The trouble was over house number 87, a Catholic home. The Protestants wanted the peace line below it. The Catholics wanted the line above it to include it in Catholic territory. It was all a tragic replay of Irish history. In 1921, a British Army machine gun post was outside the same house to prevent Catholics and Protestants from murdering each other. Now, once again, it was on the front line of religious hatred and bigotry. On the Protestant side, a local councillor protested to the army captain that just because one Catholic house was there, that could not mean the Protestants would not claim the territory.
All over the city, and it will be impossible for you to apply this principle. I am talking about yesterday morning I agreed a line with my opposite number Republican representatives. It was agreed and settled. We all went out and there was a definite line on a map. All night, and I've been at it all morning trying to get the line agreed. After all this, now we are happy with this, perfectly happy with this as it is at the moment. All I'm saying is that if you wish to apply the principle of because this lady lives in here for 50 years, that we now must push this barricade back, it will be impossible for you to apply it throughout this city.
But what difference is 20 feet going to make?
The difference is, which I tried to explain to you earlier, that on Sunday, you fellas had to tear gas our people. Why? Because an incident started whereby Republicans marched tricolour into Percy Street. And the closer they get to our people, the more trouble you're going to have controlling both crowds. What is the reason why we've got to negotiate this all over again? Can you give me a reason for this? I've been at this all morning yesterday morning and all night.
Well, I can assure you, you're not the only person that's been up all night, because I was too. We all are, and we're trying to get a settlement. And it would seem that at the moment we have got absolute stalemate, and we will have to go back to square one.
The other end worked out.
The army captain then went to the Catholics to suggest a compromise. But compromise is a rare thing in Dover Street these days.
Your mother should go to number 87. Okay?
Free access, yeah.
And have free access to it.
Yeah.
Will you now agree if we make, you see the corner here where your grandmother is?
Yeah.
We will make a one-man corridor or one-woman corridor to your mother's house. Connecting with the barrier where it is now against 89.
No.
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 Can I speak please to this man?
Before you go any further,
Before you go,
we
no.
are the committee representing this district, and wait a wee minute. There's too much concessions been given to one side. We have already suffered enough down in this district, and we're given no more concessions. If you want to put your barrier up, put it at Beverley St. This man here knows what we have suffered, and we're suffering no more.
Catholic houses in the Catholic quarter, Protestant houses in the Protestant quarter, and we'll be happy. There's where the Catholic houses start. Put the barricade across there. Will you tell them that up until last night the barricade was across from Beverley St? What's the idea of moving it down all of a sudden when it's becoming permanent?
I've just asked, sir, that I may be allowed to negotiate. Please allow me to negotiate and go back where you have just come from. Will you please now take the senior citizen here? Thank you very much.
It was to no avail. The army can keep the two sides apart, but not bring them together. At the end of the day, the army engineers took their peace line and departed. Nothing was to be done without the agreement of local inhabitants. Nothing was to be forced on the two sides. The army was neutral and helpless. There is still no finished peace line at Dover Street. Catholics and Protestants are as far apart as ever. It is true that the rest of the line is completed, but the Protestants in Dover Street decided to build a barricade of their own in protest against the peace line and to fence them off from the Catholics at the other end of the street. The corner house, number 87, is not even occupied. The old Catholic lady who lives there has gone away, but it stands as a miserable monument to Northern Ireland's hate.
This is Radio Free Belfast. We are broadcasting in 232 metres, 24 hours a day, every day, for the people inside the barricades, and we like to...
The radio station of Free Belfast, a Catholic stronghold off the Falls Road, barricaded off from the rest of the city. The Catholics inside said they feared a Protestant invasion and refused to take down their barricades. The Protestants replied the Catholics were trying to set up a separate state in Northern Ireland. For 4 weeks, it was left entirely untouched by the army.
By the old canal.